Hi there. I'm Chirag Parikh, Senior Director for Azure Space, where we're bringing together the power of our Microsoft Cloud and our innovation with and for the space community. So at Microsoft, partners are a cornerstone of all that we do. And as we grow our efforts in space, working with industry leaders will be critical for us, not only for our success, but that of our customers. So today it's my pleasure to be joined by Catherine Munson, Head of KSAT USA. Welcome, Catherine, to our fireside chat, and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Chirag. It's wonderful to be working together.
Yes. Hey, so when most people think about space companies, they think about companies that launch satellites into space or build and operate satellites into space. But as we both know, a key component of this is the ground architecture, the capabilities to communicate and control the satellites, and the ability to get that valuable data through and back down to the Earth so then our end customers can use that. So can you tell us a little bit about KSAT's role in the space ecosystem?
Yeah, absolutely. So KSAT is the market leader for providing the communication services between spacecraft and Earth. So we support hundreds of spacecraft that are on our network. We operate over 200 antennas, and those are at some pretty interesting locations. So our network is diversified and optimized to be able to support a variety of various orbital planes, which means that we operate in places like Antarctica, as well as Svalbard, and every place in between. So we're the always-on network that ensures that that satellite data gets from space back to where folks need it here on Earth. In addition to being the bridge from spacecraft back to Earth, we also are interested in using that satellite data to drive actionable information. We focus at KSAT on maritime situational awareness, and we primarily work with data sets such as synthetic aperture radar, which is called SAR, as well as high-resolution optical imagery. A lot of the applications that we're working with are for folks who are trying to monitor coastline. That could be from an oil spill monitoring perspective, from an illegal fishing perspective, as well as managing ice flows and shipping routes through those Arctic regions. So there's a huge variety of information that can be derived from these satellite-based data sets. And our job at KSAT is to make sure that that data gets to the folks who can create helpful information from it.
Yeah, thanks for that. And absolutely, I mean, having recently come from the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency, I can agree that promptly getting imagery and the analytics to the end user is key, whether you're talking humanitarian relief efforts or you're talking national security needs. In the end, time is not only money, it also means saving lives here. So let's talk a little bit about the partnership between Azure and KSAT. So last month, Microsoft announced the Azure Orbital Ground Station as a Service, which is a fully managed service that enables communications to satellites, as well as the downlinking and processing of the satellite data on a pay-as-you-go basis without needing a customer to actually build their own ground site. So KSAT was one of the launch partners for us with Azure. So can you tell us about what was interesting about working with Microsoft and why you wanted to collaborate?
Absolutely. I think what is so exciting about this partnership is that it is a combination of different strengths. So Microsoft being a market leader in data management, data transport, data processing, data storage. At KSAT, we are experts in getting data from space back to Earth. So to be able to meld these two sets of expertise allows us to provide a seamless integrated offering to customers that allows them to simplify their operations. So, there's also a very interesting component here around economies of scale. So these space businesses are typically very capital intensive and frankly, still very technically challenging businesses to run. So by allowing missions to focus on their core competence, on the satellite operations and on selling their data to folks who can make it, helpful information, we're allowing those businesses an easier way of getting the data where they need it to go. So I think there's a really natural synergy here between Microsoft and KSAT as being, a partnership of equals or a partnership of strength. And we're really excited about the ability to bring this to customers in a way that allows them to focus on growing their business and not have to worry so much about the infrastructure that supports them behind the scenes.
The world is experiencing a lot of change right now, and the world is becoming much more of a data-driven society. And all that information that's being generated requires the ability for us to be able to process that and get it to the right places. And connectivity and getting that data down is one part here. And then being able to partner with you and then being able to figure out how you route that data to the appropriate end user is of incredible value. But then using the power of Azure, we're able to bring the high performance computing that clouds provide, machine learning, data analytics, and the opportunities for both the public and private sector to be able to get that data wherever they need, whether that's within our data centers, it's at the edge, or that's even at the KSAT ground site themselves. But of course, that's not the only thing that our customers are worried about these days. They're also worried about the security and the resiliency of their data sets as well. And in the end, the end-to-end solution is, I believe, what we're trying to offer here.
Absolutely. And the missions that we support and that we're planning to support together are sensitive missions. So there are many missions that are in the national security domain, and it is increasingly important to protect that information from bad actors. So combining the network of Microsoft with the network of KSAT, so the data network and the ground communications network, allows us to ensure a full data chain of custody, which keeps that data safe and also applies all of the best practices that Microsoft has developed in the cybersecurity domain. So we're really excited about the ability to combine these two sets of expertise to create what is together a much more powerful and a much safer data network for our customers.
Well, Catherine, I am looking forward to the continued partnerships that we have developed here. And thank you again for taking your time to talk with us today.
Absolutely. We are excited about what the future brings, and we're hoping to build it together.